Okay, here it is. It is Tuesday afternoon, and I am not doing real well. I threw out my back, and yeah, so I'm not moving very fast today. But check this out. So you remember in the last video, that would have been Thursday, I put a vacuum on the AC system. I ran it for about 45 minutes to an hour. I let it sit for an hour and it held 30. I came out Friday morning, it was still at 30. I came out Saturday morning, it was still at 30. So here we are, Tuesday evening, we're still at 30. So I've got some relays, I've got some fuses. We're gonna go ahead and fill up the fuse box from everything that was missing and see if this thing won't charge up and hold pressure. I've got, since the condenser and the dryer are new, I've got this. It's got a little bit of oil in it to help replace what oil might have been lost. I did not flush out the system like I usually do. Right now I'm just trying to see if this is going to work. So here we go. Okay, that was a fail. So I got everything hooked up, started it up, and the compressor wasn't turning on, even though the light was coming on the panel. So I just jumped the compressor, and I sat there and watched the high side go up almost to 400 pounds, and the low side stayed right around 25. So there's definitely something not good going on here. So the condenser, I mean, none of the fans kicked on, but when we're talking about 2 minutes worth of running time here, tops. And this condenser is really, really hot. So I don't know, we'll see. Okay, the next job I've got is through the process of the dashboard and the steering column and the steering wheel, I decided to do away with the clock spring. I know, after all that fancy talk I said about protecting the thing and not tearing the strip inside, I went ahead and did away with it. So here's what we got. This is how it sat in the column. And then this is where the cruise control switch went. So we're gonna snip this off here. And I've already got it figured, that plug. So we're going to hardwire it to this plug. And that should give us everything we wanted as far as the cruise control goes. And it should all work just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. I've got my butt splices. I've got my crimper. I don't have my little torch, but I'll go find it. Okay, here we are. I figured out what my problem was. Way back when I repinned the HVAC control unit, there was a blue wire side by side that neither one had a tracer, and apparently I used the wrong one. So now I have a signal going to the relay, which is kicking on the compressor and the two fans together. I have cold air coming out of that vent, and we're still a little bit low. So you can see here, we are running about 22 pounds on the low side and about 140 on the high side. It's going to go up and it's going to kick back on. There it goes. So I still need to put another cam. See, it drops down to about 5. And it creeps up to about 150. And it kicks back out. So, yeah. I can't run it too much longer than this, though, with no coolant. All right. So, that means that all my stuff is together. And I will go ahead now and show you my nasty hose. Yep, that's my crimping job. It doesn't appear to be leaking, though. It held vacuum and it's held pressure overnight. So yeah, and I had to put that bow in it to clear the lower valance, but it'll be fine. You won't even be able to see that hardly behind the grill. I'm debating whether or not to paint this black. I would much rather have it black than natural aluminum. I could have ordered a black one. I should have ordered a black one. That way you don't really see it behind the grill. I mean, I know a lot of people, when they paint their old cars, they'll paint the core support body color and leave it that way, so you'll see it all behind the grill. And to me, it just looks like crap. It looks unkempt. You know, you got the bars of the grill. You know, you don't see anything behind them. It looks better to me than being able to see everything behind them. So that is it for this job for the time being. I might go ahead and put that second can in it while I've got everything hooked up, and then move on to something else. Yeah. So I'm trying to keep with like a 3-box philosophy with this car as far as working on projects. Squirrel. So 3 box. You got box 1, you got box 2, and then you got box 3. So my goal here is to finish, or at least get all the essentials finished in box 1. So I need to put that second can of refrigerant in here. I need to weld up this spot down here, weld up this spot up here. I've already gotten that spot welded. I just need to weld that corner. I need to do these. So I'll take a strip of metal, drill holes in it, flip it over, weld nuts to the back of it, and then cut them out and weld them over those holes so I can use a regular bolt instead of these weird kind of speed nut looking things. It's really interesting the way Rambler did it. And you can see all of these ones are still good. All of those ones broke out. I don't know, it's weird. That's my continuing quest to convert as much of the hardware over to metric as I can. So I think those two things will pretty well finish me up on box 1. I mean, I'll go back later and I'll do the grinding and the seam sealing, and I'll cap off these frame rails, maybe look into bumper brackets, you know, maybe kind of close this in. None of that's really important for now. For now, doing those things, and then we move on to box 2. Box 2, so on that side of the firewall's box 1, this side of the firewall's box 2. So box 2, I need to come in here. I need to get rid of that because none of it's going to be used. I need to weld up those gaps in there, tie all that together. I need to work on the wiper motor. I think I've got something planned. These 2 bolt holes actually line up with the bolt holes on the wiper motor. I might have to put a little bend in the rod so it doesn't hit up here, and then this hose is going to be very close. So we'll see. I might have to come up with something there. So we'll do that, get all this tied up, all this closed up together, and then we move back here. And I get these corners done up. I get this inner fender well tied to the Civic floor. I get all this bracing in the back done. You can see, I'm gonna get that patched up there. This patched up. The back seat is pretty much ready to go. I just need to do a little fine tuning. I need to trim a little out of that notch there because, as you can hear, it's hitting. I just need to open it up on this side a little bit. I'll worry about getting latches in there later. I might not even need them. And so I think that will square away box 2. And then box 3 is actually mostly done, except back here, I need to tie the Civic floor to the Rambler floor, which you see there's about an inch drop here. And then this end cap, which I need to work on. I need to get that, the upper valance and the lower valance pulled out, straighten them both out, get that cap put on, and then I can put that panel back in. I would like to put a trailer hitch on this so I can pull like a tent trailer, golf cart, something very small behind it. So that's the plan. I hope to have this thing on the road legitimately by summer. By June, I hope to be driving this thing every day. Even if, you know, all the stuff isn't done, I still hope to be driving this thing every day. Little things like the windows, the plan. Since these back windows are going to be fixed, I'll have to replace this rubber first, then get the glass in there, figure out where it's going to sit, drill across here and put like a machine screw in there with some vacuum hose in the middle so that there's not metal contacting the glass. Or if the window track goes that far, which I don't think it will. And I think that'll just hold it into position, and I can just put the whole thing down in here. And then these windows will be fixed in place. Or I guess I probably can't do that because the screws that hold this in place are up in there. So I'll have to get it all built, disassembled, put the track in, put the glass in, put the machine nuts in, screws in, call it good. Window, I got to work on this pinch weld here, this window frame like I did on the back window, which this still needs a little bit of work done. I got to grind these welds flat. It needs to be edge primed and painted white on the outside, black on the inside. Just here though in the window channel, same thing for up front. Once the window frames are done, I'm gonna hit up, and then once the interior stuff's done, it's all gonna get painted black inside. Just gloss black, hide as much of the patina inside, which I don't need. And it'll make the colors kick better, I think. Then, once the glass is in and all that work is done, I can put the dashboard in, which will make a huge difference in the whole aesthetic. Yep, and that'll be done. I think when I deliver this to my buddy, I'm not going to have the fenders on it. I think I'm going to leave them off so that he will have a little easier time working on it. So that's part of my problem working on this stuff. So yesterday I was in real bad shape. Tuesdays and Saturdays I don't take Advil. I take Advil every day, but Tuesdays and Saturdays I take 800 milligrams because that's about the only way I can move. So yeah, yesterday I was in bad shape because I didn't take anything. And then this past weekend at work, but not work related, helping the boss man out, working on his truck, I kind of threw my back out. And so this morning, even with the Advil, I was really having a hard time moving. It took a while, but it finally seemed to kick in. I just sat in my chair, my lazy boy, and didn't move around a whole lot. Stretched a little here and there where I could, and then I think maybe tomorrow I'll be okay. But yeah, I got really late start today, and yesterday didn't really even count. But anyway, so this content this week's going to be kind of lean and lame, but I'm going to go ahead and throw that other can in there. And I think I will get busy on that corner. I'll get a piece of metal cut out to fit that and get it buzzed in. I'm getting low on argon, so I'm going to have to get that filled up pretty soon. All right. So here, we'll start with this. I got that done. It works. I didn't get the little corners done, or this gap here, which I kind of want to get in there and try to knock this metal out and then just weld it rather than put a piece of metal in there. So I built a bracket for the fuse box, because originally the Honda fuse box actually sat in here at an angle underneath this, and so since the fender goes from here out, you couldn't really get in there. So we moved out there. And I just used that bed frame angle iron I had. So it's a bit overkill. And on top of that, it's kind of overbuilt. Anyway, I didn't even need this piece. I don't need a front piece. There is another little bracket that I could put on over here, and I probably will, but I'm going to trim this off first because I don't like how close it is to the battery. But yeah, I just was able to tie it into this, which is, there's a big, ugly, nasty, stupid air silencer. And it works. It makes the intake quiet, because without it, this thing's loud as hell, actually. But it's so stupid. And it takes up literally this entire area in here. It's gone. That's the bracket that used to hold it on. So I was able to use it here, and then I welded it to this existing bracket. This existing bracket, though, it doesn't actually hold. It holds this cable in place, and it did hold this wire in place, which I'm going to drill a hole in this bracket and use that. This bracket here is one of the brackets for the cruise control unit, but it unbolts from that bracket, so that works out fine. And like I said, I could cut this piece off, and I might leave it though, because I am planning on actually running a pipe, an air pipe, out here somewhere to pull cooler air from outside. It might run actually over here underneath the fuse box. I don't know yet. We'll see. I'd like to run it out of ABS or PVC rather than metal, but it might be a lot more work than I want to put into it. So, not a whole lot done today, but at the same time a lot, because now my air conditioning works exactly the way it's supposed to. It kicks on when I want it to. It blows ice cold. The pressures are excellent. There's no leakage that I can see, or see on the gauges for that matter. I don't see any oily little spots or anything. I can rev it up and the pressures don't go up too much. They don't drop too much, so there doesn't seem to be any restrictions. I was really worried about that one hard line being kind of kinked. Yeah. Fuse box is secured. That's done. I just got those two little things to take care of tomorrow, I think. And I could probably call this done for now, because again, there's some welding and sanding and body seam sealer, etch primer, paint stuff to do. I do need to run the belt sander along these edges, because I just barely kind of raked my arm against it, and it was enough to skin me. Okay, I need to put away all this stuff, put away the welder. It's getting dark. I'm exhausted. And I'm getting excited. It's always easy to keep moving forward when there's good progress. When there's not necessarily good progress, it's harder to go forward. And my garage light's on. I don't know why. Anyway, that's it for today. Alrighty, Thursday, getting busy. Got work tomorrow. Need to get something done. I got to finish up box one today. Well, I should say finish box one. So this is a filler panel that goes between the Honda dash and the console. I plan on actually using it and moving the cruise control switch to this hole, replacing the power port. Well, as you can see, it's pretty rough around there. They had glue just dripping down, running down. Super glue, I think. So I'm gonna try to fix this. And the fix, it's too windy out there to do anything, is torch. So this is polypropylene, polyethylene plastic. It's real soft and kind of waxy, melts really easy. But one thing you can do if you've got scratches, gouges, a little bit of sun damage, you can hit it with a torch and it will, looks like I'm just about out of gas. It will usually fix it. All right. Looks like there's still some glue there that I missed. Kind of hard to hold all this stuff. Anyway. Yep. So there's that. Yep. There's still some glue there. I'll have to do a little more cleaning on it. But yeah, as far as the little knife gouges went, looks like I cleaned up most of them. Okay, I got these two corners closed up. Not pretty, don't care. Definitely strong. Like I said, I was getting really low on argon, so I just went ahead and finished out that weld where I cut. And with the wind blowing, it was blowing away all the gas, so it's not pretty, but whatever. Don't care. Yeah. Hit those with a flapper disc and then seam seal them. So I got that done. I got the edges sanded. This stuff isn't going to be tearing me up anymore. Yesterday I got the fuse box bracket built. I got that one piece welded in there. And I think I got the AC charged up, blowing cold, not locking up the compressor, installing the engine anymore. So, yay. Yay me. Got that wire figured out on the HVAC controller. So, that is probably going to, I'm going to say that that's done for box one. So, about the only thing really left, fabrication wise, would be those little tabs with the nuts welded to them for the fenders, which I don't need to worry about right now. That doesn't mean that it's going to be done. There's still a lot of finish work that needs to be done, like grinding, edge priming everything, seam sealing everything, painting. So like the painting, I'll probably wait until everything is ready to be painted instead of painting piece by piece by piece. I'm painting just everything all in one shot. So that'll be coming. That kind of stuff will get done after the fact. As far as like fabrication goes, though, I think we're pretty well done. I found a spot to drill a hole for the wiring harness / vacuum hose. So that'll call it good on box one. We're going to start on box two next week. And yeah, that'll be a big thing there. And then the trunk, I just have that one end cap and tying the fender rails together, and for the most part that's done. Then I get to work on the quarter panels, but yeah, it's moving right along, one bite at a time. That's it for this week. We'll see you guys on the next one.